Hey y'all, it's Vicki and welcome to another video. So in this video, I just want to talk about, I am so glad that the NASCAR trial is over. I am so glad we no longer have to wait with bated breath from Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck about what happened in the courtroom. I like watching them, don't get me wrong, but I was really getting worried that my sport that I love dearly was going to be decided by a court, by a jury that supposedly knows nothing about it. And then if it was appealed, it would eventually go on up to the Supreme Court, and then it would be, probably sold. I know the France family is not perfect, but they're the ones that started it. And, for the most part, up until they started letting insiders in, like the Steves, and I'm not saying it's their fault. I mean, by what you saw on the stand, maybe it's Jim France's fault. Now, he was a racer in another division or whatever, but he, maybe he was just meant to be a racer and not a CEO. Maybe now they totally realign. They promote Ben Kennedy, who is one of the grandchildren, who has been working. He's a driver. He's only driven in NASCAR. I think he's ready. Of course, I think he would need some guidance from other people, but he could get that. He grew up with the Earnhardts and, all these other people that have teams and know a lot about the business. I think that he could easily run it now. Whether he could run it perfectly, probably not, because everybody's going to complain. I don't care. It's just like in wrestling. Everybody complains about Triple H's booking. Well, I can remember years ago they complained about Vince McMahon's booking. They complained about Vince Russo's booking. And now they want him back. Oh, he was the greatest booker ever. But yet when he was booking wrestling, you hated him. He didn't know what he was doing. Now all of a sudden he does. And that's the way it is with NASCAR. Everybody puts down Elton Sawyer, who is, I think, the director of competition. Don't quote me on that. But nobody likes him now. He was a pretty good driver in the now O'Reilly series. It's been everything, but it's going to be the O'Reilly series coming up. But, he wasn't the best driver, but he was a good driver. But he saw competition. And, I think he does an okay job. I'm not going to say he's perfect at it. Nobody ever will be. But I do think we need to get rid of the Steves, because they came from a football background. And I think to have somebody a commissioner and president, they need to have a racing background, whether it's they've been a crew chief or, just an owner, whatever they've been. I just think we need someone that knows more about the sport. I understand sometimes you want to get someone from outside the box, but in those two positions, I don't think you want somebody from out of the box. Put them in a different role. Anyway, I think the best thing to do right now is for Mr. O'Donnell to step down. Johnny Morris, I think his letter is probably tip the edge over to getting this lawsuit settled. Him along with Roger Penske and Rick Hendrick. And I don't think Michael Jordan, now that I've seen it, I don't know about Denny, but I don't think Michael Jordan was ever wanting to take NASCAR down. I think he wants to work with them. But in the environment they had before, he couldn't. So now we go forward. We move forward. And everybody now is wanting to know how we're going to decide the champion next year. Are we going to go back to the original point system where you race the entire season? It's like the owner's points, basically. Or are we still going to have a so-called playoff? Are they going to shorten the races that are in the playoffs? Are we going to do away with the one race that decides the championship? Who knows? I don't even know if they even, I mean, I do think there'll be a change, whether it'll be the right change or not, I don't know. I would like them to go back to the original format for at least 3 years. Give it a good try. And then in 3 years, if we're bored with it, change it up somehow. But I think the old way worked better. Now, there were times, yes, someone ran away with it, but in the car they have today, I don't think that's possible, that you could run away with it that much. The owner's points, nobody's really run away with it. So I know that's different, owner versus driver. But I just feel like that, let's go back to the old way, the original way, or whatever you want to call it, and just see what happens. If it don't work, it don't work. Okay, that's all I got to say today. If you watch this video, thank you so much for watching. Leave me a little race car in the comment box. And I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.